I wanted to re-ask my question because I was asking more about the offense. The NSF report I mentioned was more about within the government that they didn't believe it was being talked about or well understood the unintended consequences of for example, the Air Force doing a cyber attack on an enemy or so on. And like I said, you suggested that there were some discussions on that very early.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there have been discussions on it continually. You know, the Air Force has stepped out, as have the other services, very prominently. And when you hear leaders in the Air Force talk, you know, they talk about global reach, global power. They talk about airspace and cyberspace as part of their mantra. And if you peeled back the rhetoric from the other services, you would find that cyber plays a very prominent role in the digitization of today's Army, in the business of command and control from the sea, and all of those kinds of things. So this is I was trying to point out that the discussion has been around for a long time, and just like if we're creating tactics that we think can inflict damage on an enemy or potential enemy, giving that up as an advantage is probably not an advisable thing to do. So there is a need for security in the classical sense of security of all of those other kinds of things. But as Mr. Bamford stated, offense and defense are two sides of the same coin. You know, it's the same skills, the same actions, the same. See, here's something that's hard for us to get our hands around, and that is that in cyber, I'm a user, I'm a customer, I'm a threat, I'm a target, I'm a defender, and I'm part of the infrastructure all at the same time. Okay, so having a concept that says that I, an individual private citizen, can in fact be a target or a threat is something that again speaks to how we need to educate our populace about what cyber is, what it means to us as a country, how it underpins virtually every part of our lives, and that it's important that we prod our government to provide the right leadership, and we help define what that role in leadership is.
And just to add one point to the argument here was that on the offensive and defensive, just a few months ago, or less than 2 months ago, the person who was head of cyber security, or the cyber security area for the Homeland Security, Office of Department of Homeland Security, quit in protest because he felt that the NSA was getting too much, being too dominant in the field, and they weren't paying enough attention to the Homeland Security side of it. So this debate is very prominent within government. Who's going to have the say and who's going to be more powerful? And here you have one person that quit, saying that NSA is the 800-pound gorilla here, and I can't do my job because they're getting too much money and too much power and too much authority.
See where we may be at the crossroads, and again, the President talked about being at a crossroads, is that cyber may have become an element of national power on par with diplomatic, military, and economic, but we've not recognized or accepted that as fact yet.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank our panel. I want to thank our audience here. I also want to thank our audience in cyberspace who tuned into the webcast. The webcast will be available for replay. You can visit the Harris website to find out how at www.harris.com. And anybody out there on the webcast can also send questions that we will get out to our panel. Send it to mdyson@harris.com. Again, that's mdyson@harris.com. I'd like to thank our Public Affairs Associate, Morgan Dyson, for putting a lot of this together, and look forward to seeing a lot of you at the next event.